would hear people telling me, this guy is always looking at you, this guy is always with you, are you sure they're not interested in you? I was so done with like marriage in that even if you would come as a guy and there were all the signs, I would just be so blank because like my mind is not there at all. Even before I said yes to my husband, it took 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
You should respect your husband a lot. That man waited for 2 years.
I respect you. 2 years. Because I had to heal from all that unforgiveness, because unforgiveness now, it's like it brews and becomes bitterness. When now it becomes bitterness, it defiles you and defiles others. Hello, my name is SN1.
And I'm Victoria Bahati.
Welcome to
The Other Life.
Here we explore life's journey through the lens of faith.
Wow, thank you so much for joining us once more. We love you so much, by the way.
We do. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the love, for the likes, for the subscriptions, for the follows, for your engagement. Yeah. We really don't take it for granted. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. So tell your friends, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell your friends.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you so much for everything. I see us getting to 500, 1,000, and God knows where He's taking us.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And also, thank you, because we have had a lot of feedback from you guys, and we will definitely have a segment where we just share what you have been telling us and the testimonies that you have been sending us.
Yeah.
We'll have that so that you can see and hear what God is doing through this podcast. Once again, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, on to today's episode.
Episode number
10.
Woohoo. It's been 10 amazing weeks.
Yeah.
Wow, we are almost closing the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost
been
closing.
amazing.
It's been amazing.
Yeah. And last episode 9, we started on forgiveness. Hey! There's a lot to talk about forgiveness. It's a topic that we can't exhaust even in 4 episodes.
And also we cannot ignore at the same time.
Especially as Christians. Like the basis of salvation is from forgiveness. Yeah. God forgiving us and sending His Son, like for that to be possible. Yeah. So today we are talking about what happens when you don't forgive.
What happens? Yeah, today we are on your case.
Yeah.
We're not done. We want all of us to get to heaven.
Oh yes, in one piece, and enjoy also on
exactly.
Earth.
Yeah.
Because one thing about not forgiving is that it obstructs how you relate with God and how you relate with
even
other people. Yeah. So we want you to get to heaven and also enjoy while here on earth. Yeah.
So I was remembering, as you were speaking, I remembered a story of someone I know. So this girl has grown up in a broken home. And I remember one time we were just having a conversation. And I realized this person has so much unforgiveness in her heart. And she feels like maybe if the parents were together, the life would not turn out the way it is like. But I was like, but look at you now. Your life is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, but she has a lot of, what's the word? Lingering unforgiveness.
Like
anger, bitterness. And what I realized is that this girl is really beautiful. But because of harboring all that, it made her feel like every time you could look at her countenance, it was just like you don't want to talk to her. But after some time, as we walked through this journey, I remember one day she just decided, you know what, I'm going to forgive. She became vibrant. Her face was beaming with joy. And I realized, unforgiveness can make you like have a bad countenance.
Yeah.
But now if you see this person, she is always happy, and you can see that unforgiveness can really take a toll on you. Yeah.
And I read somewhere that can even affect you physically.
Yes.
There's a story from a book from an author we all know. He gave a story there. He's called Bishop Doug. he gave a story in that book. It's called Forgiveness Made Easy.
Made Easy, yeah.
Where there was a pastor's wife. You know, as a pastor's wife, there are a lot of hurts and offenses that come.
We need to have an episode on pastor's wives.
Pastor's
What?
So being, of course, you know, as a pastor's wife, you help people, you talk to people, but there are those who will take maybe your counsel or maybe won't or twist your words. So a lot of hurts and offenses happened, and she was unable to like take it. Like it was too much. So she had a lot of unforgiveness.
Yeah. Lingering. That was the word I was looking for.
Lingering unforgiveness that made her, she got unwell. And of course, she didn't know that is the cause of the sickness.
Yeah.
So she got unwell, and she was on a wheelchair. Yeah. So at some point she had an encounter with God, and she realized that she has a lot of unforgiveness, like a lot of unforgiveness that was weighing down on her in a manner that was affecting her. Now it is no longer just mental and emotional.
Now
it was physical. So you should go to hospital. There's nothing, but she can't walk. Yeah, but there's nothing much to be said. Like there's no treatment. Yeah, so she was just on bedridden, or when she can't walk by herself. She was on a wheelchair. So one time she decided, like she had an encounter with God. I think maybe she was praying, or was it deliverance? I can't quite remember. But it is at that point when she realized that she had so much rage, so much hurt in her heart, and a lot of people that she hadn't forgiven, that when she decided to broke down, decided to forgive and let go,
she became lighter.
And to people's surprise, the husband was away. So that I think after like 2 or 3 days, she went to meet the husband at the airport. So the husband, of course, knows the wife is not coming to the airport because that means coming on a wheelchair, only to realize after he comes out, only to see the wife standing. Wow. So the explanation the wife gave him is that she forgave. That's how she's walking.
And it sounds ridiculous.
It sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
It sounds ridiculous because we think that unforgiveness will just affect us maybe mentally and emotionally, but it can be so bad that it gets physical. Yeah. Because you see, when you're not okay emotionally, when you're not okay mentally, it means maybe you will not eat, you will not sleep, you will not. There are certain things that come with all those things that now affect your body physically.
Because everything is intertwined.
Yeah. So you can imagine you not forgiving can be maybe the reason why you have ulcers. It can be the reason why you have H. pylori, or the reason why you're depressed, your reason why you are so unhappy.
And there's no hope.
Yeah. Or you're always sick. The people who are just always sick.
Or
maybe
depressed,
it's because of unforgiveness. That's how crucial it is for us to forgive. Because not only does it affect us mentally, emotionally, it can affect you physically.
Yeah, because I think even when you go to a therapist, they take you back to how you grew up, coming all the way. And at some point, they'll tell you, you need to forgive this person. For you to move on to the next part of life, you actually have to forgive this person. Because the more you hold it on, the worse it becomes on your side. Like we were talking about last week. If you also want God to forgive you, you need to
forgive.
Like we said from the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer says, forgive our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. So if you do not forgive, what it means is you're also telling God, do not forgive me because I have not forgiven person X, person Y, and person Z. Yeah. And you also realize that, I believe we've all been in a situation where you've not forgiven someone.
Yeah.
And you see this person and the kind of rage
you have
towards this person. Yeah. It becomes so crazy. You cannot, you feel like you're not breathing. Yeah. And I remember one time someone told me, when I see so and so, my body shakes. I feel like I can finish this person because of rage. And I was like, what did this person do to you? If you just listen, it's not that this person did something really bad to them. It's just that it's constant wrongs that have added up together. So it's piled up. It becomes
so unforgiveness on top of unforgiveness.
So there's bitterness, there's wrath, there is everything. It's a concoction of all these things. And they're telling me, if I'm to be given a gun today, and I'm told to one gun with one bullet. I would
That's
just
crazy.
take it and fire this one person and finish them. But why? Because of
unforgiveness. And I think like thinking about it, I grew up with I grew up with my grandparents, and I was bitter. I was bitter. I didn't, like, God had a way of, like, is it shielding me? Like, I didn't feel that absence of a father, but the fact that I knew that my father is not there, like, I was hurt by it.
Yeah.
Not that because everyone in school is saying
Daddy.
I was hurt because I was wondering, why did he actually leave? I couldn't, like, quite understand that. So I grew up with a lot of that unforgiveness. Like, I couldn't get myself to forgive him for leaving. And you know, you're a child. I don't know why he left. You see, now that's the other thing. You might be offended or mad at someone, but you don't understand their point of view or what happened.
And maybe you were feeling like, my mother is such a good person.
Because of course she stayed with me. So of course I'm going to side with the person who stayed.
Yeah, she loves me. She's a very good person. Yeah. But I remember we were once told, your mother can be a very good person, but a very bad wife.
Yeah, very good, mother to you, but a bad wife. So I don't know what happened. I really don't know. So, but because of course I don't care. At that point, when you're at that place where you're hurt, you don't really care about the other person's point of view.
Yeah.
All that matters is how you feel, not what led to what they did. So I grew up like that, and because of that unforgiveness, it grew now to becoming bitterness to a point now. I was like, I will not get married. So it had now become something now so bad that I was like, if I'm going to, the way I was thinking, I was like, I'm not going to get married. And what I'll do is that when I get to around 28, almost 30, where I am now, I can get a child and just raise my child by myself. If the guy will be interested, I will not deny them, like, access, but I don't think the settling down thing is actually my thing. It took a lot to even, I remember when I joined the church, now when I gave my life to Christ, and I would hear people telling me, this guy is always looking at you, this guy is always with you. Are you sure they're not interested in you? I was so done with, like, marriage in that, even if you would come as a guy and there were all the signs, I would just be so blank because, like, my mind is not there at all. I remember even before I said yes to my husband, it took 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
You should respect your husband a lot. That man waited for 2 years.
I respect you. 2 years. Because 2 years. I had to heal from all that unforgiveness, because unforgiveness now, when it's like it brews and becomes bitterness. When now it becomes bitterness, it defiles you and defiles others. So when it defiles you, it means your relationship with God is hindered. Yeah. And then how you view people, how you view life is also defiled. Because, like, for me now, it's like I categorized all men as how I thought my father is.
Father is all men will leave.
So there's no point of me being invested if the person is going to leave.
And the funniest thing in your story is you feel like all men will leave, but your grandfather was with you. With me. Now you see that lingering unforgiveness could not even make you see that there is a man who took you in like his own child, and his marriage was actually working. So I think unforgiveness from your context, it made you not see
what's there and what's working. The beauty of life.
Because you didn't see anything good about your uncles who were there. You didn't see anything good about your grandfather. But one person made you change the whole
thing. Because I even have an uncle who would come to see us every week and would always bring us chocolates, yogurt. Adi, my shosho would be like, you're spoiling these kids.
Children,
you have to reduce it. Because every time you come, they already know Uncle Mwangi is going to come.
Uncle Mwangi is amazing.
Uncle
if you watch this, Uncle Mwangi
is the best.
Yeah, so I know you. You're amazing.
So he would come home every week or every in a week, like thrice. And every time he came, he would come and bring us stuff, and then there's a game we used to play with him. So you see, like,
so God had already given you a father
in him, in my kuka, but I was enjoying it, but part of me was also still not content with that, because I was hurt. So I had a lot of unforgiveness. Yeah, I couldn't get myself to just forgive my father because I didn't know what happened. So I would have made room for him and just made an excuse for him. Maybe it was too bad for him to stay, and maybe if he had a chance, he would have remained. But stayed, maybe it was too much for him. So because of not making that room and not forgiving, even the people who are there, I really didn't care per se, and it affected how I would view now all men. Yeah. So by the time I'm getting born again, that's when I started that journey of now, because I'm already defiled, my worldview is defiled.
It's warped, yeah.
My idea, what I have as my idea of marriage is also defiled because of the same thing of unforgiveness. So now it's moved from, like, now my husband had to suffer for it because he had to wait for 2 years and he did not know about anything. He's not the one who told my father to leave.
And he doesn't even know him in the first place.
He doesn't know him, exactly. There are some people who have had to suffer because of that unforgiveness, because it not only defiles you, it now defiles others. Yeah, because you end up also hurting others, and when you hurt others,
responsible.
Yeah, when you hurt others, they also hurt others. So it becomes a whole
system
chain
of
a whole chain.
Yeah. So I was thinking the other day of how we relate even as friends, as colleagues. Sometimes if you sit down and think about each and every person, you will realize they are hurting in one way or another. And I realized one time we were told that hurt people hurt others, and hurt people actually feel. They don't think, they actually feel, because it's all about I feel offended, I feel betrayed, I am bitter, I am this, and I'm this.
Yeah.
So, and I was as I was thinking about it, I realized unforgiveness actually has caused us so many traumas, because, like you're saying, you not forgiving your dad made you to have an unforgiving heart, right? And through that, a lot of things also came into the picture because you did not forgive this one person. So again, your husband had to struggle. And when you stay around people, you get to realize people are so unforgiving, because if you ask someone, why are you acting like this? I act like this because my father left me. I act like this because my mother died when I was young. I act like this because my uncle did this and this and this. So you realize as you interact with people, people have a lot of lingering unforgiveness, and it's affecting everyone around them, and they might not even know. Because I also realized most of the times when someone does something to you, if you have not forgiven, it ends up being a trigger. So you already know, okay, maybe in a family you saw when mom and dad are fighting. After they fight, what happens? Daddy takes a bag and leaves. So every time you're arguing with someone and you see that it's gonna be hectic, and if you just see them taking a bag, you're like, you know what? This person has left me. Yeah, so you see that all those traumas have come as a result of unforgiveness. Why is it a trauma? I'm not a therapist, but I think that could be one of the reasons why we are they are where they are.
Yeah, and forgiveness rather is our responsibility.
It's our responsibility.
That's the thing. Responsibility is your responsibility, is my responsibility. I cannot live my life blaming. For example, I cannot live my life blaming my dad for father. Leaving. I cannot live my life blaming my grandparents for how they raised me. I cannot live. That's not how God intended for me, because that's a cycle that the enemy would want you to stick in. But yes, that happened, but it is your responsibility to heal. It is your responsibility to forgive. If you don't heal, if you don't forgive, that's on you. It's not on them. That's on you. It's yours. That one now is, you cannot blame them.
I read a quote that said, your trauma is not your responsibility, but healing. No, traumas are not your fault, but healing is your responsibility. So you need to get from a place of, okay, this is where I am. Now I need to go to a place where I need to come out of this thing. Because I also realized that when you do not forgive, there are several things that happen to you. Number one is malice. You end up being very malicious. So the book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 31, let me just read it. 4 verse 31. I read it in the other episode, but I'm going to read it again. It says, let all bitterness, wrath, anger, clamor, evil speaking be put away from you with all malice, and be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God in Christ forgave you. So we end up being very malicious because now, like now, if you think about it, why did you have to keep your husband for 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
Like the guy is just there waiting.
Yeah.
He ends up feeling like someone is harming me for something I did not do. So we end up being.
And also for me, it's not like I knew like why I was doing
you
that.
were acting there.
Just like no,
this cannot happen.
I'm not ready for this. Not right now.
Yeah.
I know. I know you're a nice person and all that, but
I like you as a friend. I remember telling
ready.
you know, you're more of a brother to me.
Yeah, I'm not ready.
Who is laughing now?
I know. Yeah, so we're still brother and sister. Yeah, that
in
has
Christ.
not changed. Yeah, in Christ.
So when we get to heaven, you'll still be brother and sister.
Yeah, so that has not changed, my dear husband. Yeah, and I remember listening to something, and the guy was saying, as Christians, there's one fault we make that makes us not even walk in forgiveness, or we think that we are forgiven while we haven't, because we don't like thinking about how the thing makes us feel, because you want to like brush it off and be quick to say I forgive.
Yes.
So I'm a Christian, I'm forgiven, but because you have not dealt with it, you have not sat down and examined, so how am I feeling? How is this really making me feel? Because you see that, like that malice, those are things you should be able to identify. You'll be like, God, this is how I feel. I feel like I don't wish this person any good. God, I wish that if this person can trip and fall,
they shouldn't wake up.
They should not wake up. This is exactly how I feel. Like exposing that to God, like completely. This is exactly, I'm angry at this person. I feel like I hate this person. I remember growing up, there's at a point I was so mad that I went and just told God, I hate so-and-so. Like, I hate so-and-so. Because I was like, I have to tell someone. And of course, I can't tell the person face to face. But imagine after I said that, it's like, it's just it disappeared. Yeah. Like, I didn't like harbor it per se. So as a Christian, it is important to know, even as you, it's not bad to go through those emotions. It's not bad to go through those emotions. It's very normal. Like when the story of Jesus, that's exactly what he did. Like he went through the emotions. I don't want this. Like he was so open and genuine with God. I feel like sometimes you cannot go to God and not be sincere. Yeah. He's God. He can see your heart. Like you cannot go to God and pretend, Lord, I've forgiven this person. I love them. I pray for them. Even I've come here to pray. He's like, and dude, I can see you. I can see you. So you rather go and tell him, God, you already know. I am so mad at this person. I am so angry. And then express, like, I feel this. Why did she have to do this? Why did he have to do this? Why couldn't he have told me this and not this? Like, pour it all out instead of being fake or being pretentious or hypocritical and be quick to say, I have forgiven her. But you don't even know what that means. Yeah. You don't know what that means. What are you forgiving exactly? You should
because you've not gone through the process and the emotions of it.
No, you need to go through it all and be like, I am hurt, I am angry. Go through all that, then you come to a place where, okay, I don't have to hold on to all this. I let it go. That's how you end up forgetting. The reason why most Christians don't forget, we say it's easy to forgive, but it's hard to forget. It's because you have actually, if you're really honest, because I've been at that place where I've said I've forgiven, but it is hard to forget. But the reason I am not forgetting is because it still hurts. Yeah. Because I have not yet let go of that pain. I've not let go of that hurt. So it becomes a place where you can forgive and forget. It becomes easier when you have actually forgiven. So if you feel that you still remember
and it comes out with pain,
then you haven't. You've not forgiven.
Yeah, it reminds me of one time someone really hurt me, like really hurt me. And it wasn't a one-time thing. It was constant for years. Yeah. So for me, I'm the kind that if you hurt me, I told this person the first time, but it looked like they couldn't see, like they could just not see it. So I ended up feeling like maybe this person actually feels nice when they actually do this thing. And continued. And I remember one day I was just crying to God, like what you're saying. And I went to God and told God, Lord, I hate this person. If I had a chance, I would just finish them. And it continued for some time, because when you think, like you've said, when you think you've forgiven this person, it's like God really wants to show you, but then you've not forgiven this person.
Yeah.
The next time you meet this person, they do something to you and you're like,
you remember it's fresh.
Like, I still remember what you did to me 2 years ago. Last year, last week,
everything,
and it still hurts. And when you face this person and tell them, by the way, when you do this, you hurt me, they actually don't care about it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, because you can't tell me sorry and you're still stepping
doing
on
the
me.
same thing.
So they kept doing this thing over and over, and I was like, you know what? I can't fight with this person. This is what you've decided. At some point, I said, okay, I'm going to forgive. But the truth is, I had not forgiven. I had just
covered.
There's someone who told us that they have a part in their heart where they open,
put someone there,
lock them there, and they lock them there.
You forget they ever existed.
They forget they ever existed. So I think I had that pocket of putting this person there. And over time, this thing continued and continued and continued. This person kept doing so many things to me, evil things to me. And the funniest thing, I never talked. No, I got to a place where I never talked about it. I would just be quiet. I would go to God and cry. I'm like, you're my father. I will tell you everything that this person has said. Because if you're a child to God, just tell him how you feel. Because I feel like sometimes we want to have a mask towards God.
Like, I mean, he knows. Like, he can see you.
I used to cry and cry and cry. So beginning of this last year, yes. As I was praying, it's like God just told me, you're always telling me about this person. So you just pray for this person. Hey, praying for someone who's always hurting you and someone you cannot do away with. I was like, okay. I started, Father, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for so and so. I'm like, God, I can't do this. Day one, day two. Like, it became so, it happened like that so many times. It was like, God, I just can't do this. But I remember at some point, it's like God just helped me and I let go. And then over time, I realized the same things this person was doing to me, this person, someone else is doing the same thing to this person.
Yeah.
And now in my head, I was like, when I told you you're doing this to me, you were wondering why you're overreacting. But now that it's happening to you, why is it an issue? At some point, I was happy. Like, Kitu, like, this is happening to you. I'm happy, finally. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And then, I went home and I was like, I don't think I should be happy for this person for what they're going through. But anyway, God, see the good. I actually, after some time, I started feeling bad for this person. Like, why do you have to go through this thing? I know you did the same thing to me, but why do you really have to go through the same thing? But why did I get to a place of I am feeling sorry for them? It's because
it was a journey that
God has taken me through, and I've actually forgiven this person. Even with this person right now, we can even have a conversation because Kitambo, it was like,
you don't
here comes. I think this is how the brothers were viewing Joseph. Here comes the dreamer. But I think God has really taken me through that journey, especially with that person. And I can say for sure, I can say that I totally forgive this person. This is someone we can sit down and have a conversation right now. So was it hard? Really hard. Were there days I cried and crowed a lot of days, but
here we are.
So I feel like despite what someone has done for you, as long as you're a Christian, there's nothing as bad as you've done everything else right. And then you go to hell because of this one thing. Unforgiveness. So it's actually better to be then a fornicator. Because a fornicator will just rise and say, oh Lord, I'm sorry. And then we'll get to heaven. So I feel like unforgiveness is actually worse than you being a fornicator.
Because it's something that cannot really be seen.
It's unseen. So those are the sins of the heart. And I remember when I forgave this person, I was like,
It's like a load off your chest. It's a load off your chest.
Yani, I've been carrying this person.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever felt like you're carrying a big load?
Yeah.
And then you just put it down. I really felt nice.
You feel nice and you feel... Because that's what maturity is as a Christian. Be getting to that place where it's not just about you. It's not just about how you feel. You cannot just always go by what you feel. Like, I feel hurt, I feel this, I feel... Sometimes it's good to get to that place where you're like, yes, this is how I feel, but I cannot continue feeling this way. What exactly? I'm a Christian. That means I'm a Christ follower, which means I'm supposed to do what Jesus is telling me to do. So what is Jesus telling me to do about this?
About this whole
Is
issue.
he telling me to forgive? That is exactly what I'm going to do. And forgive for real. For real. Not cover up. There's a difference between forgiving and cover up. Like what you went through was a process. Like it was an actual process. Because what we do is cover up.
And
then
think
when
that everything
comes,
is okay. Like what I said last week about my uncle. I thought I was done with this guy.
Yeah, because it was just more of a cover
It was
up.
a cover up.
Forgiven him. Then we move on. Because you didn't think he said this. This is how it made me feel. He said this.
This is what he did to my parents. This is what he did to us. This is what he did to my grandma.
All those, you have to go through all those emotions so that you can now get a place where you're like, I let go of all that. Like I'm done thinking about what he did. I'm done feeling this. I'm done. Now I want a fresh start. When it comes to him, I want to view him differently. Me, there's someone who hurt me, and I was like, God, this person hurt me, and they continually hurt me. Yeah. And I want to view them just as you view them, so that I can be able to forgive them.
That's maturity.
If I cannot see how I'm looking at them with my eyes, it is very hard. But if I look at them the way you look at them, I know I'll be able to forgive, because God has forgiven us of our sins. So, and when you were sending Jesus, he sent him. It was not, we had already factored in all of us and our sins.
Yeah, and all our sins.
He's forgiving us now. He already forgave us. Yeah. So you can imagine the kind of love that God views us with. If you can be able to view people the same way God does, then it becomes easier. So I go to a place where I'm like, now show me. Like pick out the nice things about this person and just make them clear. And then show me you love her, because I know she's your child. You love her. I need to see her the way you see her. When I see her the way you see her, I'll be able to forgive and let go. Because I was trying, I'm like,
I just can't. I can't bring myself to
just
this
all
point.
The wrong things. I'm seeing all the wrong, because you're hurt. When you're hurt, you see all. And you don't see anything nice.
Everything.
Even
is
when your
wrong.
husband has hurt you, you see everything. Even when he has given you money, you will see how he has given
you. You are giving me money because you're trying to cover up for what?
I mean, it's just exhausting. So
hurt people, hurt others.
Yeah, you need to just see people how God sees them, because He has forgiven.
The eyes of God. Yeah.
Even for me, He has forgiven me. So if He has forgiven me with all that I am, and I know myself, so there's a way He sees me. That's why He's forgiving me. So I want to see even others the way He sees me and forgives me every time. Because what's the point of living a life that is, you don't have maybe friends, because now one friend hurt you, and you now blocked everyone else because now you're protecting yourself. You're protecting yourself. Yeah. Then you don't have friends. Or maybe it's a heartbreak. No, you don't want to get into any relationship.
Like all men
are, yeah. How you say it, I don't know. But all men are duku.
Alama head duku.
Dot. So you see, so all those things. Or maybe church, because someone in church hurt you. No, you don't want to go to church.
You're like, all churches are a scam. Yeah, I have church wounds.
Yeah, I have church wounds. See what it's doing to you. You're no longer in church now.
You do not have a relationship with God.
You are not maybe a pastor said something or did something to you.
Or someone did. Yeah, true.
So now, because it's a pastor now, all pastors are like that. I cannot trust any pastor. That's your undoing. And that's exactly what the devil
wanted you to turn out to be. Or your departmental leader, I'm in praise and worship. So there's this certain girl who did this and this and this. They're all not the same.
Yeah, we're not all the same.
Yeah, so you just need to heal and forgive. Yeah.
It's more harmful
for you
to forgive than to forgive.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and forgiving liberates you. Yeah. It makes you free. Yeah, it's freedom for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from all that, we can keep going on and on and on and on and on. This is such a wide topic. It gets into the innermost part of the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm even feeling Anywho, and with all that, please tell us on the comments what Jesus is saying to you and what you're going to do about it.
Yeah. And you can reach out to us if you need us to walk with you through the journey of forgiveness.
Yeah.
God has been helping us and we can walk with you in one way or another.
Yes.
Remember to like, comment, and share.
And
See
subscribe.
you.
Bye.
Bye.